This week's thwarted terrorism plot has sparked a call for Australia to accept fewer migrants, and it's come from within the government. Federal Labor backbencher Kelvin Thomson wants the migration intake to be cut. He says this would allow authorities to improve security checks to block potential terrorists. But the Immigration Minister has quickly rejected the call, saying the screening process is rigorous. Ethnic groups agree it's unnecessary and say Kelvin Thomson's timing is provocative. From Canberra, Susan McDonald reports.
It's barely begun, and the court case of Australia's biggest foiled terror plot is attracting not only attention but commentary.
Someone who refuses to stand up when asked by a judge and says, "I stand only before God," does not respect Australia's laws or legal system.
Kelvin Thomson's Melbourne electorate is a melting pot of ethnic cultures, but the Labor backbencher says the growing number of migrants is compromising Australia's security.
There needs to be more vetting of both prospective migrants and temporary residents.
There are now almost 150,000 migrants arriving a year, and temporary entry visas have swelled to more than 6 million.
This volume is putting our immigration authorities under a lot of pressure and making it difficult for them to do their job.
To make it easier, Kelvin Thomson suggests slashing the migration rate to levels of the 1990s.
Given time, it would be possible to get to the bottom of the background of applicants from Somalia and elsewhere and work out whether they have any association with fundamentalist groups and make a rational assessment of whether they pose a risk.
Even if you look at the recent high-profile cases in the courts, the majority of suspects are actually born in Australia. They're not immigrants as such.
Australia's ethnic community sees no need for change, and the government is standing by its current screening process too.
And they all receive thorough vetting for security reasons to ensure that they don't pose a threat to Australia.
But the opposition shares Kelvin Thomson's security concerns, though it says more resources and not fewer migrants is the key. The government has already scaled back migration, but for a different reason. The global economic slowdown has put a dent in the local jobs market, but it's holding up better than expected, and an official growth forecast just got rosier.
RBA's forecasts tell us that there isn't a recession in this country, or if there is, it is the mildest of recessions.
The Reserve Bank now expects growth to be positive this year and pick up further next year, making Australia the only OECD country to grow in 2009.
We're encouraged by the positive signs and impact of economic stimulus, and that will have implications for our forecasts.
As for interest rates, the RBA's monetary statement out today says movement towards a more normal setting of monetary policy or rates could be expected at some point if further signs of a durable recovery emerge.
For the first time, the RBA in a policy statement has signalled that interest rates will have to go up at some stage.
The downside to an upside. Susan McDonald, Lateline.
In many of Melbourne's